What's up everybody? In today's video I'm going to show you how to make custom spark plug wires. So it's really easy, just takes a little bit of time. There's just a couple little quick tricks that help you do this faster. So we're just going to get right on into this video, and the spark plug wire set that I am using is from Amazon. It's ICT Billet, and it's their custom LS coil spark plug wires. And they're super easy. It comes with, each wire comes with 5 foot of wire. There's 8 wires for a V8, and it comes with 90-degree boots and terminals, 135-degree, and then the straight, just flat ones, or the straight on ones. So it comes with all that great stuff, but I'm gonna show you how to do that, and let's get right on into it. So for this job, there's a couple tools you don't have to have, but it does make it quite a bit easier to use. A pair of cutters or dikes, and then, so this is a special spark plug wire crimper tool, and it makes your life much easier. And then needle nose pliers, and then just normal pliers, as well as dielectric grease, and then a multimeter, just to make sure you did it right and you have good resistance in your wires. So those are the things you're gonna need. So ICT, this is what they're gonna send you, is 8 wires, all 5 feet long, and then this whole pack of terminals and boots. But what we're using is the 90-degree terminals and the 90-degree boots. So that's what we're going to be working with in this video. Alright, so here's some of the ones I've measured and cut down already. That 5 feet is really long, and you're probably not going to have to use all that. On each one, I did take a paint pen and mark for which coil they were going to go to, or which cylinder. So we got 6, 7, we got a bunch of them. So what you're going to do is you're going to measure the distance that you need. And what I did is I just took my spark plug, clipped it onto the coil, and then measured up to the spark plug, and then marked it. So when you measure that distance though, with your spark plug and you mark it, you're gonna add 3/4 of an inch, because that's how much you have to strip off the wire and use for your actual terminal. And so you can see where I marked it, that blue dot, that's where I measured it to. That's how long this wire needs to be. But I cut another 3/4 of an inch because I'm going to strip this part of the wire, and we're going to be using that. Since we got the tool, all you got to do is come back to where your measurement was on how long you need the spark plug wire, and then clamp down on it and twist. And then strip it off. So now we're left with this. And so all this is the spiral core wire. And I've seen a couple videos where they strip the black off. You don't want to do that, because that black spiral core is conductive, and that's gonna give you a better that's gonna help you. You want to keep that. So we're just leaving that the way it is, and so now we're gonna move on to the next step. But so we're left with this. And so now we have a 90-degree terminal. And so these things are always too big. So you can see when I lay the wire in here, this is just way too big, and we would have to crimp it way too much. So what you want to do is get your pliers. So what you do is you grab it by the head, not too tight, you don't want to squish down that thing, and then you get your needle nose and you twist those things down. Whoa, I feel like a dork doing it. So you twist them in, just like that. I got a little dumb on there, but so now it can actually, it fits over this snug. And so that's important, because it makes our lives a lot easier. So now that we got our terminal snug down, it's time to put it on here. So you just flip it over, and we only left 3/4 of an inch because we don't want the bottom of the spiral core sticking out of the terminal. So when we slip it over, you want the spiral core to be at the back of the boot or the terminal. Now we're just gonna slide it over, and you can see there's a little bit of it left. Push down more, it's perfect. And that's perfect because we want just about 1/8 of an inch sticking out from the crimp part of the terminal. So now we can crimp this thing down. And another quick tip, so this part of the spark plug wire plugs into the coil, and since it's a 135-degree boot, you're gonna have it pointed one way or the other. So one thing to do is, since this terminal is 90 degrees and it faces somewhere, you're gonna want to kind of like do a little visual in your brain and see which way you want this thing spun around on the wire. It'll just help and make things a little bit nicer. So for me, it's gonna plug in like this, and then it's going to plug into the side of the engine. So actually, I want this wire flipped on this side so it can snap into the spark plug. Okay, and so now that we got this, we can crimp it with our crimper tool. So all you do is stick it in the crimper, and it has a certain way. There's gonna be the jaws. Jaws are gonna have this little W shape at the top, and that's what's gonna push down in the middle and crimp it correctly, and then the bottom, this part is smooth obviously, but you're gonna wanna put it in with the crimped part on top, just like so, and then crimp down on it. So now it's crimped and it's looking good. So now we get our multimeter and we set it to ohms on the 2000 because this wire is supposed to have 350 ohm resistance per foot. All right, so we're gonna stick it on both sides, and we have 364 ohms, so that's just about perfect. So we know we did it right, we have the correct resistance. So that's how we know the spark plug wire is gonna be good. Now it comes to the custom part. So we got our 90-degree boot, and these things, a lot of people say they're kind of hard to put on, but for the ICT wires I've noticed, they're not really all that hard. It's actually kind of easy. So tip is to get your dielectric grease. This is good for electrical connections, and just put a little bit of this stuff on there. You don't gotta go crazy, mind you, but it'll help that boot slip over the terminal. And if anybody's using CRC, you tap this thing and then like all of it comes out. So I'm gonna put a glove on because I hate this stuff getting everywhere. So you take that dielectric grease and you just rub it all over the terminal. It's just good to prevent corrosion, and you just want to do it. So then get a little bit on the boot, on the terminal. There's gonna be two ends of the boot. There's one that's gonna go over the spark plug, which is the bigger side, and then the one that goes over the wire is the smaller side. So you get this thing all greased up, and then you're gonna wanna just slide it on over it. So, let's see, sometimes it's hard, sometimes it's easy, but these ICT ones I've noticed are pretty easy. So just get it over the top, small end, and voila, got a spark plug wire. So one of the things I did too is it's kind of I have these heat protector things because they are between the headers, and I got turbo headers, so it kind of just makes it hard. So before you put the 90-degree boot on, or whatever boot you're putting on, I always just slip this over it, and now you got the protective boot on this thing before you have to wrestle with the 90-degree boot. It's just something I picked up because it made my life a little bit easier, but then we can just slide this thing back on there. And these ones are pretty loose, I'm not gonna lie. So sometimes when you're putting it on the spark plug, it's tight, and what happens is this boot moves around and then the terminal isn't facing the correct way. So you gotta make sure the terminal is always pointed out, otherwise you're gonna be trying to snap it on and nothing snaps on. It's a pain in the butt, let me tell you right now. So, but that's all you gotta know to make custom spark plug wires. It's very easy. It's very simple, nothing hard about it. But if this video helped you, please like, subscribe, and comment something or the next thing you want to see on the channel, and I'll be happy to make that video or talk to you about it or answer any questions you got. But thank you again for watching the video and for keeping on or hanging on with me. So on that, I will catch you guys on the next video.